The idea is that if you are working with what you prefer to work with and are allowing those things to reflect the vibrational state within you that you prefer to be in, that's what will allow you, the raising of your own vibration, to perceive more of the traffic of UFOs, as you say, that's around you all the time, which may simply be normally invisible to you. So it's not the devices themselves that are doing it, but the devices acting as permission slips to allow you, by interacting with them, to raise your own frequency and make your own senses more capable of seeing what was heretofore invisible.
Beautiful. So on this journey, on this breatharian journey of needing less in terms of food, I can perceive more in what you're also saying in terms of electrons and the frequencies around me. Yeah. So with that being said, what is the mechanism behind spinning 33 times, or just spinning in clockwise? Because many different channelers have expressed their importance of it and what it can do. 33
is a diminutive version of the threshold between physical and non-physical reality, which is vibrating at 333,000 cycles per second. So 33, the number 33, is a diminutive representation of the transformation from a lower vibration to a higher vibration. That's what it symbolizes. And that's why, for some people, not necessarily all, if they can't relate to it, but for some people that understand that connection, focusing on the idea of the 33 and spinning at that rate can allow you more ability to connect to the transformational state from one vibrational state to another that is higher.
So I spin over more than 33 times a day, and I'm getting to the point where I'm shifting to not needing certain liquids ever again. So
well, don't say ever again. Just allow yourself in the moment to experience whatever seems relevant for you in the moment. It might change, and it might have a reason for changing. So don't insist, remember. Don't insist. Don't assume. Allow yourself to experience whatever is relevant for you in the moment based on whatever it is you are doing and using as a permission slip, and that's fine. Just let go of the idea of what you think is going to happen, because you don't know what needs to happen yet.
Agreed.
And if something changes in what you might consider to be a direction that used to be what you did, don't assume it's the same thing. You might have reached another level and need some of that reminder to propel yourself to an even higher one. Remember, it's not this. It's this. So the idea of what may seem to be coming back down to a level doesn't mean you're actually coming back down to the same level you were on before if it's a steady incline. You may need that particular yin-yang energy in order to really jump to the next level. It's like springing up, but then hitting the trampoline and springing up again, but that trampoline's on a higher level. But just because you came back down doesn't mean you're down to where you used to be. You're still coming back down to a higher trampoline.
Beautiful.
Yes.
The breath is one of my fortes, if you will, as an alchemy breathwork master, if you will. Yes. And is the breath one of the main reasons why I'm still able to maintain mass on this liquid journey, if you will?
Yes, the idea of oxygenation of the physical system is necessary for the physical system to maintain connections to higher frequencies that it otherwise wouldn't necessarily be able to handle. Oxygen in that sense is the commutator. It is in that sense the stepping down transformer that allows for the physical and the non-physical to connect more readily in order to not burn the system out.
So can I also use the breath itself as a communicator towards other beings outside the earth, if you will?
Yes. There are some that do communicate more in that direction. So yes, you can experiment with that and see what you get.
Okay. I think you've answered many of my questions. So I thank you for sharing the breath itself.
Thank you. Again, our passion and our pleasure to interact with all of you.
Good day, Bashar. Thank you so much.
It is our passion and our pleasure to interact with you. What would you like to discuss this day?
Well, I would like to start by going back a little bit to what you were sharing
Yes.
in the elements of excitement,
Yes.
where it feels like right now a lot of people are feeling that this idea of putting masks on is restraining, and you were sharing that we need to use the limitations that we're placing collectively upon ourselves. So what could you share to those people that are feeling uncomfortable about these restrictions that we're experiencing right now?
First, to recognize that not all limitations are negative. That's the first step. And to go within themselves to understand what the source of their discomfort is. The idea being that you have made agreements within physical reality that allow you to know what the path of least resistance truly is for you. But many people on your planet are making certain choices from refusal, not from recognition of their true path. They are making some choices from negative fear-based reasons, even though they may think they're doing them for positive reasons. So this requires an extremely clear, extremely transparent understanding of what your true deepest belief systems are as to why you would choose or not choose to do a particular thing that is representative of agreements you may or may not have made to abide by in your physical reality to allow you to go through a certain experience. It requires a deep, clear, transparent understanding of your motivations and the belief systems you're operating on. That's one of the reasons why this is happening, to give you the opportunity to investigate your belief systems and see what is truly true for you, rather than something that you just hope is true for you, which isn't true for you at all if you're honest about what you really believe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The other thing would be the reflective mirror and this pandemic reflecting something that we don't prefer.
Yes. And so the question being, what are you going to do about it? Remember that some of this comes from the idea of the destruction that many people on your planet have created in nature.
Correct.
Therefore, you're getting a reflective consequence of the idea of creating an experience of disconnection from nature and allowing certain opportunistic organisms to go beyond where they would normally have gone.
And as a day-to-day thing or activity, or what are some things that we can shift daily to
follow the formula?
Yes. Yes. Right. Thank
There's
you.
There's nothing simpler than that.
Yeah.
Why overcomplicate it?
Right. Thank you.
Yes. Does that help you?
Yeah, a lot.
All right.
I would like to get your perspective on the mudras that are.
Do you mean like this?
Well, yeah, that one. That and the yogic mudras that.
Yes.
I would like to know how they were received, where do they come from, and.
Well, again, they came from higher mind. They come from higher mind because when you allow more of your energy through yourself, your physical body automatically takes forms that are sort of representative of circuitry, in a sense, to allow the energy to be focused and connected in a certain way that then translates into your physical reality. So it's really a physical reaction to certain levels of energy, certain expressions of energy that then function like the completion and connection of circuitry in the body.
Right. Thank you.
Yes.
And with that same topic of the yoga, I had a dream where I was receiving these mantras from a monk. They're called bijas, or seed mantras.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that idea?
Well, different societies have different ways of expressing those ideas or defining those ideas or ensconcing or clothing those ideas in ways that make sense to their particular culture. So it's kind of the same thing that we just talked about, but expressed through a particular culture.
Okay. So I have been reaching out more to the hybrid children.
Yes.
And I share with you one of the children that I had seen but didn't understand or didn't have a name for. I now have a name for. that somebody shared is star sage.
Oh,
I have a question about all three of them, Brayer, effervescence, and star sage.
Yeah.
What do they like to eat, if they eat?
they do, to some degree, eat. One of them very much likes ice cream, although they are limited in the amount they can have.
Why?
Because their bodies cannot really absorb such things in the way that your bodies have learned to do.
Okay.
They need very limited amounts of certain things. One of them very much likes the idea of softened carrots, and another does, in fact, very much enjoy the idea of sunflower seeds.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And could you share how they spend their day? What do...
A lot of it is about acclimating to your society for the time that they will come and live among your people. But a lot of it is also exploring ideas that are given to them by those that go out into the cosmos and bring them understanding and information about how to connect to things in ways that they will need to remain in connection with when they come and live among you. And many other things. Sometimes they just play.
That was my next question, actually. What kind of games do they play? And is there
There are many different kinds.
Is there something that we can play with them?
Well, not exactly right now in the way that they do. Yes and no. It depends on you. One of the games they play is Find the Portal. So in other words, portals, for the most part, seem to be mostly invisible. But if they enhance their senses, they can actually begin to see them. And so Find the Portal is a way of honing their skills, honing their senses, to be able to see the connections between different dimensions.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
When I was in the Redwoods last year, we offered an apple, hoping that would enhance the connection to creatures or Sasquatch or nature beings.
That's fine. You can use whatever permission slips you wish and just see what happens.
Well, we found a sand dollar.
Yes.
And I would like to know.
Sometimes you will be given
brought that?
acknowledgement and gifts in return.
So could you share who provided that? And if there's a name?
No.
So we can...
No. Not yet. No. Not yet. An elemental is all you need to know.
All right.
For now.
All right.
Continue your relationship. Continue your exchange. You will know in time what you need to know.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Good day.
Thank you. Good day. I love you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Hello, Bashar. Good day to you.
Good day, good
How
day.
are you?
Perfect. And you?
Perfect.
Oh, what would you like to discuss with us this day?
Well, I have a few. Thank you for being able to ask you these questions.
Yes.
The first one is, in your 5 steps, the first 2 steps are about forgiveness.
Yes.
How do you know whether or not you have succeeded in forgiving others and yourself?
You will feel a release. You will no longer feel the connection or anchoring to the idea that you must listen to the past self when it doesn't conform to the vibration you prefer. You will feel like the chains have been cut. You will feel freedom in a way you have not experienced it before.
Okay. Sounds like I need to do some more rattling of my chains.
All right. Rattle away.
Thank you. The other one question that I have, Bashar, is probably rolled into another one, and it is to do with immune deficiency conditions.
Remember, I cannot comment on health issues.
I understand this. I just wondered why this is so prevalent at this moment.
Because negative belief systems that exist on the planet have diminished your capacity in the sense of staving off what would be the vibration of non-preference. In other words, the idea of the pandemic is a representation and a reflection that you have, as a society in general, begun to crash your collective immunological system because of hard-held beliefs that are negative and out of alignment with who you truly are.
Okay.
So now it's compounded, global.
Understood. So the question right into this is, I have read yesterday about someone who had an accident and used going back into nature as a healing process. Is it possible to do this, and how does it work?
Yes, but as we said earlier, it's not going back into nature, it's remembering that you are nature, an extension of nature, that you function as nature. And by really remembering that and locking into that vibration, you start to harmonize your frequency with the basic fundamental frequency of Gaia, of nature, and the collective consciousness of nature itself. And when you harmonize that frequency, you go into a state that is naturally a healing state.
Got you. Okay, that makes so much sense.
I know. Again, that's why I said it.
I knew you were going to say that.
How psychic of you.
Okay, the other one is just a quick question. I drove back the day before yesterday and suddenly had this heart palpitation and premonition. I couldn't shake it. I tapped in and I knew it had nothing to do with me or with the people around me, my family.
Yeah.
And as we continued driving, we came into the scene of an accident.
Yes.
Was my premonition about that?
Yes. As you increase the idea of the expansion of your consciousness, you're also going to increase the sensitivity of your senses and start picking up on energy vibrations around you that may have heretofore been invisible or untouchable by you. So you're going to become more sensitive to those things.
Yes, Bashar, I remember that. I was, at one stage in my life, I was so sensitive, I literally had to close myself down before meeting people. And so I'm going back into that state.
You are, but in a way that can serve you now. You don't have to be afraid of it.
Okay. All right. Very good. I hear you. Thank you. Well, these are really all the questions I have, Bashar, but I want to take the opportunity to thank you. You have been a guiding light in my life for such a long time.
Well, we thank you for applying the information. That's what makes the difference.
I'm not sure I'm such a good example, but we will see.
It's all right. Don't diminish yourself. Just keep moving in the direction that you prefer. Everything is fine.
Of course I will. Thank you so much.
Remember, the first step toward true enlightenment is to lighten up on yourself and not take things too seriously.
Oh, no, absolutely.
All right.
Thank
Then
you
you're doing
so
fine.
much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And much love to you.
Unconditional love to you as well. Good day.
Good day.